The gang's all here. Welcome back, Melissa.
Little new game. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's been a minute.
We are happy to have you here and back at the producer's perch.
For a minute, anyways.
We have Damon filling in for Chris. Welcome.
What's going on, everybody?
It's been a minute since you've
Yes,
been
it
here.
has. I'm happy to be back.
We'll have our guest on screen here shortly. It's going to be a good show tonight, you guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. We have a.k.a. SoCal Brad joining us this evening. He's been in the BMX world for a while. He's a rider, racer. He's got his own teams going on. He does apparel. We're going to find out all about this here just in a little while. You guys make sure you grab your favorite beverage. Hit the share button right now. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Make sure you're hitting us up on all the platforms here. You can join us for the most part each and every week, because we do take some weeks off to try to occasionally, and then it rains.
You got to.
You know, we try to get out there on Wednesdays and race with everybody. You can find us on YouTube, and you can find us over on Twitch and all your favorite podcasts. So if you're listening to the show after it's live, we're on all the outlets. We're on them all. Make sure you guys subscribe there, so as soon as it's posted, you're alerted, and you are in the know. We have news coming up here, but first I want to let you guys know that we're coming to you live from the Ethan Clark Studios here in Heartland, Michigan, which Damon found his way around.
Didn't get stopped at the stoplight.
No.
Didn't get stopped by anything this time. I'm happy.
And we're brought to you by the good people over at Motor City Harley Davidson. And speaking of them, they have another great chance to get out and hang out with them again for their Veterans Appreciation Open House coming up November 8th and 9th. It goes 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can get over there and visit Nick and the crew at Motor City Harley Davidson in Farmington Hills. You been over there yet, Damon?
No, I have not.
I still got it. Melissa and I have been over there. I've been trying to get her to get a motorcycle.
I'm trying to get one myself, but, you know, I wound up buying something else this year, so I got to wait.
Yeah. They got are they e-motorbikes?
Yeah.
E-cycle? Whatever.
They got e-bikes over.
They're wild, man. Those things are fast. Make sure you get over there, check them out. Always a good time. Even if they don't have something going on, the place is massive, and it's
Question
cool
for
to
you.
hang out. Yeah.
Do you still need a motorcycle license with the electric motorcycles?
You know, if Nick's watching, he can answer that for us.
That's a good
you have
question.
To have a cycle endorsement?
Yes.
That'd be a good
for a regular bike, yes, you do.
Yeah. Melissa is back, as we said, back there at the producer's perch, brought to you by Gate 9. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, man. It's going to be a good
Cheer
time.
season is on temporary hiatus. I stress temporary. Still debatable what the schedule will be moving forward, but I missed all of you guys, so I'm glad to be back.
We are happy to have you back.
Yes, we are.
Damon and I are at the Ghetto-Wear News Desk right out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for the coolest and lifestyle apparel. Make sure you guys check out Ghetto-Wear. We've got some quick news bits for you. We want to wish one of the other hosts here, Paul Remington, Richfield Park's announcer, best wishes, good luck. He announces his alma mater's sports team. So he does the football game, softball, volleyball. He does them all.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, and his volleyball, the varsity girls volleyball team, they're playing for division spot, actually against my alma mater of Durand. So, yeah, it's a weird thing that happened.
We're not at the game?
No. They stream their own games, so it's
okay,
all right. In other news, if you guys might have seen this, we popped it up last night. One of their hosts is actually in the chat already. We have a show coming up for you on December 6th, which is a Saturday. When you're not busy, you can hang out. Middle of the afternoon, buddy, 4 o'clock.
No, I think I'm going to be heading to Florida.
On the 7th? 6th?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
We're going down we're going to Florida a few days after that.
Right.
Yeah, you might be a weekend early.
Am I?
Maybe.
No. I think I leave that Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah, I leave that Sunday.
Oh,
so the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, so the 6th.
So I might be to come by.
We're doing it's a midday show for us here in the United States. Over in Australia, where our guests are, it's going to be a Sunday evening show for them. And the guys from It's Just BMX podcast, Dozer and Stuart Kelly, they'll be joining us. And it's going to be, we're going to mash up. They started the podcast. They're on their, I think their fifth or sixth episode. They just had Josh Jolly on.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure you guys get over and check it out. So that show is going to be happening the 6th. It is going to be a different, normally we're Wednesday night. It's going to be a Saturday. We'll replay it on Wednesday for you, though. But we're going to do it live Saturday afternoon here, Sunday evening.
That's going to be interesting.
I know.
And then
wait
it's
for that.
vacation time.
Yes, it is.
We are done for a minute.
We'll be off to Florida, and I'm going to race in
Uh-oh.
that Bangin' Bars series.
You ready for it?
Yeah. Hell yeah,
Can't
dude.
wait, man.
We got. Are you going to be down there racing in it too?
Nah.
He's gonna be
I'm
cruising.
doing cruise ship.
Oh,
Hanging out with Mighty Mo's.
his cruise is the same week.
Yes.
I guess
That's
I
why-
didn't put that together.
That's why I'm leaving that Sunday morning and flying down
hey,
there.
Well, everybody going on Mighty Mo's cruise, man. Have a good time. I'm gonna go race some bikes, and then we're gonna hang out in the
Heated pool.
in the heated pool.
Actually, you racing that, what, the 13th or whatever?
It's
Yeah.
that weekend. Yeah.
I get back Saturday from
12,
the ship.
13.
Oh, no kidding. That's right. You would.
Yeah, maybe I should try to find out where you guys had to move my flight.
Saturday afternoon would be Sarasota, and then Sunday's Cape Coral, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, different part of Florida. Okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Well-
well, next time.
Before it gets too crowded in staging tonight, we got to take a quick break here and shout out the following companies for helping keep the lights on here at All Things BMX Show. Seriously, when you guys are going shopping for BMX stuff, please check these guys out. Give them a shot. We'll let Damon kick us off.
All right, we're going to start with Dye Job Apparel. Represent your favorite brand, team, business, custom apparel from Dye Job Apparel. They will definitely take care of you with, identifying your product and stuff like that. So make sure you check out Dye Job Apparel.
Literally can make anything.
Yes.
For sure.
And they have.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if you look at the back wall, some of the stuff is covered up, but yeah.
Only
They-
because I'm in the way.
Right. They've done a lot of jerseys.
Even Christmas ornaments.
Oh, that's right.
Right
Christmas
there, buddy. You got
ornaments.
Christmas ornaments you can make.
Slippers.
Slippers, yes. T-shirts, all types of stuff. Dye Job Apparel. Make sure you check them out.
We also want to shout out Krupp and Carter. They are the official BMX brand made by BMXers for BMXers. Their aim is to be the first big bike brand in the malls and your favorite place to shop. And they hook us up every week for our prize packs. So thanks and shout out to them. And go check them out. Get restocked with your hottest BMX strip, especially with Christmas coming along.
Yeah, our good friends over at Morris Digital Media. If you guys got a website, you got social media, anything like that you want to have built out, make sure you check out Anthony Morris at Morris Digital Media. They'll make sure they take you and get you into the internet of all things.
All right. And as the season's coming to an end, make sure you check out Gate 9 Designs for the best number plates around. Also, they have carbon rims and a carbon frame coming soon. Make sure you check out Gate 9 Designs. Get it in early because after Grands, he gets very busy and you're going to be waiting for a while for your number plates. So
Right.
that's Gate 9 Designs.
We're going to shout out On Two Wheels BMX, one of our favorite vendors at most of the nationals, at least
Yeah,
the ones
man.
we get to. Go check them out. I think they still word of mouth give a discount if
Just
you
telling
happen to
me.
mention us.
Yeah, they got a bro deal.
Mention the All Things BMX Show and that you're a fan, and you might get a percentage off.
Yeah,
Go check them out.
If not, you're supporting a good company. Our friends
That
at the
too.
Hack Shack, if you guys need a side hack built or you're looking from even like old school BMX stuff, Homie Mike's got you hooked up. Make sure you check out the Hack Shack.
And, of course, let's go. If you need a set of wheels built, Richmond Wheel Builders. Like I said, if you need a set of wheels built, those are the guys to talk to. Richmond Wheel Builders, talk to them.
Yeah, and DB Sports, upstate New York's premier bike shop. Check them out. They got links. All the links for everybody we just talked about can be found in the show notes. And our chat sponsor, as always, is BMX Rock Photography. And we've got a great, very leading question for our interview this evening with Brad. So you guys tell us, what brand, past or present, is the best, your favorite BMX uniform company? All right, so we've done this on some other, BMX things, but what's your favorite BMX uniform brand, past or present?
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Now with that, we're going to bring our guest in this evening. It is none other than the legend himself, SoCal Brad. Brad, welcome to the All Things BMX Show. How are you?
I am doing amazing, guys. Been looking forward to this a long, long time. Good to see you, Justin, Damon, and Melissa.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me part of the show.
Absolutely. So
Thanks
let's
for your patience.
yes. let's ask you, what's your favorite BMX uniform company?
From the past, man. If you look at one of those pictures, I always used to wearing Haro. That was my favorite brand ever since I was a kid. It is up to today, and obviously currently, my own.
Yes, of course.
You got one, Damon?
Uh, JT was always one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Haro, you can't go wrong. Max, I mean, I ran them all back in the day. So
Did
yes, I did.
Right. JT, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jofa.
Oh, Jaffa mouthpieces. Oh my God, I love those.
Dude, trying to find one of them right now. That ain't easy.
I got a funny thing. I was wearing when I first came back, and sorry to interrupt you, Damon.
No, you're fine.
Otherwise, I'll forget this. I was wearing my open face, and I was wearing my Jofa, and this little kid is probably about 10 years old, and he's like, are you wearing a cup on your face or something like that? It was just hilarious.
So I have to admit that was the first thing that I thought of when I was introduced to that. I was like, why is there a cup on your face?
Actually, I still have a brand new JT mouthpiece at the house.
Dang.
Yep.
Probably a couple $100 on eBay right now.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
They're not
It was
easy.
actually given to me. Tommy Merriman gave it to me. He just you're
Yeah.
old school writer. Give me one. So
They're not easy to find. We got quite a few people giving shout outs to JBC, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognize a lot of names, you guys. Thanks for getting in here and joining us this evening. Yeah, let's kick this off. Brad, as we start the show with all of our guests, how did you find the wonderful sport of BMX?
Well, first of all, I'm so glad I did. I mean, it is. I mean, I was involved in many types of sports, tennis, soccer, but of all the sports I was involved in, I mean, diving, BMX, I definitely excelled at the most. Interesting enough that I had a Huffy, the big old banana seat, and forks. I'm not sure what type of bike it was called, but I was jumping curbs back in the early '80s, right? And then my cousin visited me one time from Minnesota, introduced me. He goes, go inside, and for a little bit, and he was playing with my neighbor's bike, and he comes out and he goes, watch this. He puts his foot in the tire and does an endo with his foot. I'm like, dude, I was sold. I thought it was the coolest thing. And then I got into freestyle probably mid '80s, and then I was about 15, so I was probably sophomore in high school. We moved to actually in my freshman year of high school, and we moved to a lake outskirts of Omaha, Nebraska. And then I built a quarter pipe at the end of my cul-de-sac, and just doing local contests with that. And then I met these guys that they came from California. I don't know if you guys are familiar with David Griswold and his group. He moved from California to Omaha and introduced me to racing. That was probably let's see, maybe 87, 88, roughly.
Wow.
All right.
And, yes, and raced up and through college, and never said I quit. Yeah, I mean, BMX definitely. If there's so many things that BMX has brought to my life back then,
Mm-hmm.
And to where it's continuing to just be, it's just my getaway. But BMX, I've met friends, where it got me out, moved me to California in '96. But yeah.
Okay, so did you like freestyle or racing more?
Well, racing, because I practice all the time, but I really didn't have anybody to compete against, right? Because I never got really into like contests per se. But when I got introduced to BMX, I could practice and then race, right, and compete. Because I lived in Omaha, I went to four Grand Nationals when I was a kid. From I think '88 was my first Grands, I believe, and then I think like '92 was my last. So yeah, so I went to four Grands as a kid in Oklahoma City. And back then, they had the dirt jump, King of Dirt, inside Oklahoma City. I don't know. Obviously, you see things differently when you're younger.
Right.
But to me, I just remember it being inside. It's like it is now, but the arena would, during main time, they would turn on these bright lights, right? And Vision Streetwear was there. Dr. Pepper had these huge blow-ups.
Mm-hmm.
It just seemed like a lot bigger, spectacular thing. like main events, they would turn on spotlights, for the main events. It's just pretty cool. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
And have you previously to the going on the air, we were talking about the last race you were at, which was the Phoenix National. Have you always been racing nationals, or did you just start out doing locals and then jump right into nationals? How'd that look for you when you got kind of first into racing?
Yeah, so back at so I was racing locally. There was 2 tracks, one in the Papillion, which is outskirts of Omaha. There wasn't Omaha BMX at the time, but it was in Papillion BMX. And then we had Lincoln, which is still the same place. I'm not sure the exact same location, but still it's called Star City BMX. So shout out to those guys. And yeah, I mean, I would always go to to Rockford BMX. It's so interesting. It was, even back then it was asphalt, and it had the same lip and then drop. I remember back in the day where you would just there was one national where it was completely mud, and like the mud was probably like that thick. You just jump, come down and land as as a novice. You didn't roll anything. You just went boom, right? And it hit that mud. You just slide out, and it was I remember this the stream right next to the track, and we throw our bikes in there and just wash them off. So I went to Rockford multiple times. Love that track. And obviously Grands, it's so fun to go to these Grands now and see the pictures back then, what they looked like back then, to what they are, to what they are now. But, so I raced, the local events, state qualifiers, state, Nebraska State Championships. I went to Denver one time. I remember going to some nationals outside in Denver. It was right next to an amusement park. I remember that. Let's see. There was a inside Midwest Nationals one time. Again, going to Grands 4 times. I remember. I think it was 88, 89. One of my professional rides. Always, first of all, I always loved Haro. I had a Haro Sport, and then
great bike.
What's that?
That was a great bike.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's a picture of me jumping over my bars. We're actually lake jumping then in one of these pictures. Love that bike. But obviously I needed to learn how to switch over to a race bike. But I met Mikey King. I think it was 88, 89 when he won back-to-back, #1 amateur, and then he turned pro and became a #1 pro. So it was and he actually won pro that year, even with a broken ankle. So it was pretty amazing. So it's really cool to meet him. And like I said, going from that Grands to going to my first Grands 5 years ago, in 21, it's just like big, different building, but it's, yes, it was, it was like during COVID, and it was like 950 motos, but I just missed the brightness of the lights. I don't know, I don't know if it's just a personal thing, but it's one thing I think would be kind of cool for like the Friday Spectacular or even the main events, to bring in these lights right for the pros. I think it'd be to make the event that more exciting.
Nice. Who were some of the big influencers on you racing as you're coming up? Some of the pros that you looked up to when you started out.
Like I said, Mikey King. Interesting enough that I think I was like 17, 18 years old, and back when I was in freestyle, my entire wall was all, Eddie Fiala, right? And all those guys, and then when I got into racing, because I had BMX Plus, subscription, then I start paying attention more to the racing side, because now that I was involved in that. But interesting enough, there was a team, I think it was like, there's probably, let's say, 90, 91, there was a team called Pedal Power from Southern California. they came through a small town in Papillion, Nebraska, and they did a clinic. And the main guy, the main double pro was Billy Harrison. I don't know if you guys remember that name.
Mm-hmm.
And another star of that team was a young lady that was on that team, of Holly HFD Dunn from Arizona, Hall of Famer. She actually was on your show. In fact, she actually talked about this time, about all the places she went to. This is one place that that she remembered. So that was pretty cool to hear that. But yeah, so I became really good friends with Billy at that time, because we were both going to college at that time. And in the following year, he came back through Omaha and did a clinic with Rich Bartlett. And so two of these guys, because again, we lived on a lake, so two of these guys, stayed at my house. We went water skiing, that kind of thing. And it's actually the same year that two of them were on the front cover of BMX Plus. So here I'm a Nebraska kid, I'm starstruck. I have these two amazing AA pros hanging out at my house. There's my BMX Plus. It was pretty sweet. So, yeah. So, and then I'm still friends actually with Billy to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And he's after we both graduated in '93, and my dream ever since I was a little kid, even for racing, my heart's always been in Southern California, because my cousins grew up here, and when I met him, he's like, dude, get a couple of jobs and get your butt out here. And I moved out here in '96, moved to Orange County, California. I heard of Huntington Beach, and that's about it. And moved here and been here ever since.
Wow.
So so BMX has been so much of my life from beginning to now.
Wow. What was the job that you ended up finding when you moved out there?
So I was actually worked for a company called Structure back in the day. It's a men's clothing store that was in the malls. It's called a Men's Express now. And I was a manager, and I transferred out here, which is so funny, because obviously all the Southern California managers, when I transferred out to the malls here in Orange County, they heard about this new manager coming from Nebraska. So obviously, people from California have stereotypes of people from Nebraska and vice versa, right?
Right.
We think you guys are all surfers. Surfers here in California, and everyone from California thinks we're a bunch of farmers, and those we have one street light, right? So we come out here, and they're like, they meet me, like, you're Brad. It's like, you look like you're from here. so yeah, that was in '96, and I raced it. I'm not sure if I actually had a membership, but I must have, because I practiced a couple times at Orange Y.
Yeah.
That was pretty amazing to race that track. So just raced a couple of places around the area with Billy. It's like a dream come true. I'm Nebraska. I'm living in California now. And I was like 26, 27 years old. That's my time. And then I think my last national was 97 at the Fall Nationals at Coal Canyon. Because actually I still have the sticker from that. And then back then, it's like you were old for BMX. I mean, there was no dads racing, right? And so then I met the love of my life, met my wife, and we've been married 27 years, raised 5 kids, and somehow I found myself back on the track.
Wow.
Hey.
That happens
great.
full circle.
Hey, congratulations on the marriage.
Yeah.
How many nationals do you get in a year racing right now?
Well, I mean, when you live in Southern California, it was interesting when I came back. To answer really answer quickly is, most of them, I try to try to do here on the West Coast.
Okay.
And now that I'm building a team, obviously everyone's like, Brad, when are you going to come out the East Coast? And is you get spoiled in Southern California because it doesn't rain much. So I know when I'm going to go to a race, I know it's pretty much not going to rain.
Right.
In Vegas, it's indoors, right? So Phoenix, I've never been there when it's rained. 5 years I've been there, it's never rained once. Spending the time and the money, and I don't want to get hurt. You're obviously the risk of getting hurt is a lot more higher on a wet track.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like to stick locally. So mostly, maybe 3, 4, 4 nationals, and this will be my 5th Grands this year. So looking forward to that. And I mean, and going to Grands, you know, I always keep that in mind. I'm like, you know, going to the Grands, I love looking around and just soaking up the energy. Because when I come back to a smaller race, and I think about that time, I'm like, you know, why am I even nervous? Right? If there's no reason to be this nervous at a state qualifier or a state championship, because I think about the time when I'm at the Grand Nationals, it's just a different feeling, and I love when there's a full gate. So yeah, I thrive on that. But yeah, so yeah, 4 or 5 nationals. So usually Vegas, Arizona, Bakersfield, SoCal Nationals. Interesting enough, when I came back in 2021, there was 2 nationals in Nebraska. I'm like, what?
Well,
that was pretty crazy because the rest of the country was, you know, shut down, right? So that was like, I couldn't believe it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
And then I'm living in Orange County, right, the home of BMX, and there's not one track
Wow.
in Orange County.
Ouch.
We just opened up a pump track, so the kids here unfortunately don't know about BMX. They they don't about, you know, riding their e-bikes. You know, we call them e-bike games. It's just it's unfortunate.
What's your home track, Brad?
So my home track is, shout out to Bellflower, Bellflower
Okay.
BMX,
Okay.
Nice.
phenomenal track. Yeah, and then so I'm like right in the middle. It's like Bellflower is actually about an hour and a half, and then San Diego BMX, another amazing track. It's about south of me. You know, Tyler Brown's track is about another hour and a half. You know, but it's all about, you know, the traffic in Southern California, right?
Oh,
You
sure.
it could be the same distance, but one could be twice as long.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And then I got like 3 or 4 tracks on the, you know, an hour and a half east of me. So everything's around. It's just Orange County has just gotten so ridiculously expensive that the Orange Y, it's unfortunate Orange Y shut down like 5, 6 years ago, and I still drive by that track all the time, and it's still a vacant lot.
Oh.
So it's like prime real estate, but it's just sad. It's just, you see that it's just a vacant lot. You know, there's many stories of what happened, but hopefully some, you know, that we can, you know, get a resurrected track back in Orange County, because the kids just don't know. I mean, there's all the, you know, the bike shops, you know, they're all mountain bikes. Obviously that's big out here, or e-bikes. You know, it's just because the land's just so expensive to support a track.
So you don't want to add track operator to your resume?
That my hat's off to those guys.
Right,
Wow.
amen to that.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for those guys, I mean, we wouldn't have the sport. So, you know, hats off to all those volunteers, and so much appreciated.
Thankless job.
You know, and one of those pictures of, you know, with me and my Haro kit with the big white number plate, that's actually in Rockford.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I believe it or not, I mean, every time I went there, I remember racing Gork.
All right.
Yeah. And I actually, I think one of the guys that showed a picture on my Facebook page, he said, dude, that's me right behind you in the Sundance kit. I think it was Joel Hiltz.
When you came back to BMX, right? So you had the time off. You come back. You're in it for a little while. For yourself, what did you see as the biggest change in the sport in your time off?
Well, I mean, you know, the funny thing about that is, you know, during COVID, I'm like 2020 during COVID, I'm watching the Grands for nostalgia, and I was like, wow, look at that, you know, because I just never thought I'd be in racing. I just happened to be watching that during COVID, probably because I may have been sick with COVID, whatever. And one thing I was like, oh my gosh, look at that. There's actually old dudes, right? I didn't, because back again, you know, when you were 26, you know, you were old. And I'm like, I was just surprised how many they were. And like, those guys they don't look that fast, right? So the next thing a week later, I'm buying a bike. And I think my first race was December 15th, last day of that year. So and then the third race of my career come back was January 8th at the Winter Nationals. And so my first race, I'm like, there's like 10 shoots, right? I'm like, what the heck do I do with that? So I'm like, I think I'm on like number 10 shoot, and my motor was like in the way over here. I'm like, okay, novice is coming through. Just obviously, I've always been flats. When I bought my bike from a friend of mine that I just met, actually, who I race all the time for the past 5 years. He's like, because I'm like, I still had my hyper helmet from back at, because I was co-sponsored by them, so I wore that for my first year. But he's like, so back in the day we had open face helmets, right? It's like anyone that had a full face helmet, I'm freaking nerd, right? So I never seen, I've never been on clips before. Those weren't around. And actually, when I came to California, and I was wearing my hyper helmet, my hyper jersey, and I was at Orange Y, and I never forget. It's like some dude shot us. Oh, watch out, guys! EC's on the gate. Because Eric Carter he was the double pro back in the day, with Billy at the time. So, but yeah, and obviously the full face helmet. So I was wearing my open face for the year. I'm still in my flats. I tried clips for a month that first year, and I'm like, nope.
Hated it.
Because over 5 years, I've seen too many guys at my age lose the race or get hurt because of clips, and this is all I've worn, right? And so, and to me, I think I don't know, it's just, maybe I'm going to have to eventually, but it's just, to me, the risk is too big for the reward, because if I can get to, the grands on flats, I guess I'm following Pee Wee Lee, right? I mean, look at him, right?
I do. I normally have to follow him around the track.
Yeah,
he's fast.
So, but definitely the technology. Obviously from chromoly to aluminum, to carbon. But I'm still old school. 44, 16, 180, cranks. Let's see.
What age?
What's that?
What age are you racing? If you don't mind my being nosy.
Clear right now, I'm racing 51, 55, intermediate.
Nice.
Hey, my class.
Oh, okay.
The Intermaniacs, man. Right?
Oh, I like that, Intermaniacs.
Personally, one of my funnest class to watch.
Oh, those guys are nuts.
It's a great class to watch.
Well, it was, it's interesting. When I was a novice, racing at the Golden Nationals up in PAL BMX, and we were duking out in novice class, and I had my open face, and the next day I'm wearing, I actually did have a full face helmet with me, because I had so many friends were telling me, dude, you need a full face. So I was actually wearing my full face helmet with my goggles, just sitting like this, waiting for my motor to come up. And Pee Wee Lee of all people come up to me, and he goes, dude, amazing race last night. I was just like completely shocked. I'm this little novice, and this is Pee Wee Lee talking to me. that was pretty cool. But regarding the technologies, when I first got into BMX, my friend's like, he said, well, you need to get a full face helmet. You need to get protective gear, like full chest protection, knee pads. And I'm just like, thinking back in the 80s, right? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you don't do that. It's like, well, are you going to get it now? Or are you going to get it later? So I was smart, and I got it.
There you go.
That day, and I will never get on the track without my full protection of upper pads. Yeah. It's saved my butt multiple times. And obviously, besides the technology of bike and gear, is the tracks. When I first saw the tracks and asphalt turns, I was freaking out.
Yeah, you
like,
said you.
What the heck?
You said you.
Now I love it. Now I love asphalt turns.
You said you kind of got out of what, 97, 98, right?
Yeah, around like 96, because I know I raced the full nationals in Cocan in 97.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys remember a rider of JP Fellon.
No. I remember the name.
Yeah, he was younger than me. He's actually from Nebraska. We had a lot of amazing riders from Nebraska. So he actually came out about the same year I did. And I didn't realize at the time, but he actually stayed with BMX and became a big time rider with some pretty major teams, and so it's fun to bump in him and locally at some local nationals, and I mean, I think he's probably like 5 years younger than me, and so let's say I was probably 18, so he's, I don't know, 12, 13. Talk about how he looked up to us at the time. It's like what? So, but yeah, I mean, like I said, just BMX. I mean, it brought me here to California, right?
Yeah.
And it just has taught me so much in life regarding, because playing the team sports, it's all up to me, right? If I want to put really dedicate, how much I really want to dedicate to training or whatever it was, right? It was up to me. It wasn't, it wasn't relying on a team. And that's why, I really enjoyed it. I've always enjoyed it. But to be honest, I'm having way more fun now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. So when I watching the grands, and then I went head first. Actually, I have 5 kids, and 3 of them are boys. Try to get my 3 boys, and they tried a couple times, and they said, nope, I'm not interested. And this is like 2021. I'm like, well, Dad's going. I'm not sitting on the couch. Which I was kind of bummed because I wanted to do it then. I mean, plus they were supposed to be my hall pass with the wife, right? I'm gonna take the kids, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. That's unfortunate. None of them were riders. All 5, none of them.
No, and I tried to get my oldest, who's 26 now. He was 12 back in 90. Let's see. What was that? That would have been 2007, whatever it was. So I actually bought him a bike, and we actually tried a couple times at Orange Y, and he didn't like it for whatever reason, and then we never stuck with it. And then again, like I said, it's been 24, 25 years later, right? And they tried a couple times, but it's and for the past 4 years, every time I go to Grands, my first couple of years I was sleeping on the couch when I got home, but
you should have got your daughter involved.
Sometimes some things you do, are worth it, right?
Yeah. You should have tried with your daughters. They might have got into it more quicker than the boys.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just the just getting on the gate. I mean, there's nothing like it, right? It's just, when we go to race, at a national or whatever, and we wake up and it's like, okay, another day. I'm like, you guys, we get a race. I mean, how many guys are our age are doing this? So
that's true. That's a good point.
Good times.
I thought about what you just brought up with, you got friends that'll golf, but it's a different kind, right? Like, it's not golfing. It's not playing, stick and ball sport when you're older.
Pickleball.
Pickleball. Oh my gosh.
Don't get me started on that.
How did so you're back in the sport, you're been the handful of the Grands. When did you transition to your clothing brand that you have? Because you've been doing clothes yourself, obviously. That's what brought you to California when you were working for Express. What was it for you that got you started in this uniform that you're doing with the JBC name? Now you're making motocross, BMX, mountain bike kits. What was it that clicked for you that made you want to get into that?
Well, I come from the fashion capital of the world, Omaha, Nebraska, right?
Right.
I've heard that.
Right. And so when I transferred out here through clothing, retail, I was introduced to high fashion, high end custom clothing. And so then I started in 2006. I started on my own after learning the business, started custom suits, bespoke suits, and have been doing that since 2006. And so and obviously, raising family, that kind of thing in Southern California. And when I got back into racing, obviously had to buy gear, helmet, and it's buying what the major brands that I learned about now. That's the other thing that was a shocker. Like all these major, all these major companies, that's another thing. How many, instead smaller companies, which so many of them are now, right? Compared to like the major companies back there, Haro, GT, Redline, right? It's that landscape has changed a lot. But and then when I came into BMX, the I came across where I came across a motocross brand, phenomenal company, but they really didn't have a BMX presence. So I was like, yeah, it's like I'll represent them, and so I was going to all these nationals and doing all these lives and really showing the owners what they could do with on the BMX side. They were all, they were mostly focused on the motocross. And then that some other national guys started joining it, and so the Scott Bissonus was actually one of our friends on the team, another guy from Texas, and we said, hey guys, let's put a national team together. And no one wanted to step up, so I became the national team manager at that time. And I think we grew the team in less than 6 months, whereas like 75 riders nationally, and we actually had a team represented at the Grands at that first year. And then, with my marketing background, I start, getting all these co-sponsors to make it more of a benefit for the riders. And, with plus managing 75 riders from Southern California is becoming almost a full-time job, and plus dealing with all these, co-sponsors, that kind of thing. And, it was just basically, putting all these things together. I just saw the writing on the wall that I had to step down from that position. But then obviously, with my background, I'm like, I'm in a perfect position, obviously, of what I've done with my clothing brand regarding my custom suit business. I'm like, I can do this myself.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of very much saying how, in 2006, I mean, it's just business 101. I mean, you could be a mortgage person and learn the business and start your own branch, or, work for Starbucks and start your own little coffee shop on the corner. That's just, happens all the time, right? That's what's great about America. And, I learned the business back in 2006, started my own brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, figured it out. I went to some trade shows locally, kind of figured it out slowly. And then I just, reached out with different manufacturers, and obviously wanted to test it because obviously I wanted to make sure it was important to me first before I would launch it. It's probably 4 or 5 months probably before I actually launched it and made it live. But because obviously I wanted to make sure that the product was good. It was important. What was important to me as a rider would be carry on to other riders. But but initially I didn't want it to. It wasn't under the name of JBC because at first I didn't really want to have it together.
Okay.
But John Bradley Custom, how that name started is actually because my name, as a designer, you have a lot of labels are named under the designer's name. Well, Bradley John didn't sound as good, so my middle name is John. So I said, John Bradley sound better.
Okay.
And so that's how that started. So because just Bradley's English just sounded better. So
Yeah. And a brand.
But when I started my racing apparel company, it's going on 4 years. Let's see, beginning of 22, I think it was roughly. Is under a different name, and and I want to obviously do things right. Got trademarked or try to get it trademarked. But when you do that, you put the red flags to the world, right? Of other companies that may have that name.
Mm-hmm.
And but unfortunately it takes a long process, and a year and a half later I got those letters saying you can't do that anymore.
Oh no.
So I had to change my name, and so I'm like, figured might as well just put it under the same umbrella, under so I have my fashion side and
Sure.
I have my racing apparel side.
So on the fashion side, you're 20 years into that, and for those that you said earlier, you do it's bespoken suits. What is that? What does that mean for those that don't know?
Bespoke means like it's spoken for. So like if you walk into like old school, like you went to like London, right? Savile Row, the term goes where you actually go on one side and actually get your fabric and then walk across the street. And so that particular fabric that you're getting for your suit, it's just like hold it up and you walk across the street and hand it to the tailor. They measure you and then they're making it, which is, it's obviously it takes weeks and weeks of process of making it, but it's, so that's what it comes from. It's been spoken for.
Wow.
And so I basically had designed, and that model is basically, I come to you, regarding the customers, I come to my client, there is no retail store. It's all, it's not like I have a bunch of, suits that are sitting there coming and it's tailored. I basically have hundreds of fabrics that they can come. So I basically have created the same model as my fashion side regarding my racing apparel side, where that's how I'm able to offer. That's my secret sauce. I think that's because I have no intention that there's amazing brands out there, right? They have big time budgets, and I'm just trying to create my own thing where how I can be different is I'm offering something where my riders can have over hundreds of different designs. Mm-hmm. And not only that, every one of my kits, top, bottom, and matching gloves, from over 100 different designs and all these different type of measurements, sizes. Not only that is you have a 14-year-old kid that's tall and thin, and they're getting let's say an adult 30 or a youth 30 waist, but it's just the pants off the rack, slacks or off rack pants, racing pants are too short. So because everything's made to order, I can offer any custom length they want.
Wow.
All right.
Well, that makes sense.
Yes, you're not going to get it in a week. Just like a bespoke suit, good things are come through those who wait, right?
That's right.
Speaking of suits, man, I get like all black suit with the purple Crown Royal interior liner. I mean, that's what I want.
Bam. Absolutely.
Hey.
So yeah, but obviously with COVID, obviously that changed the landscape of the suit business. So business 101, start a business, that because I was like, wow, that's my main income for my family. In Southern California, it's no joke. You can't be making mistakes here. You're on the street.
Sure.
Yeah.
So people weren't buying suits. So when they were at home for a year, right? So that's another thing that spawned me. I got to make some money. I got to take care of my family of 7 people, right? Build a business out of your passion. Boom, right? That's another thing. I'm like, putting all this time into some other brand, phenomenal company. But I needed to supplement my main income, and then this was the perfect fit. I'm already in the business. I'm already in the clothing business. I just figured it out myself. Obviously, sourcing manufacturers and testing the product, but unfortunately, starting with a different name, and then having to stop it 2 years into it, it's like might as well. It's like completely stop on momentum. So really, this JBC is under this name has really been about a year and a half now, I would guess. So sorry if I'm talking a lot.
You're good.
No, you're fine.
You're awesome.
When for yourself, it sounds like you bring the fact you can custom make these things. You can make longer, bigger, like 2 custom sizes. Aside from that, what do you feel makes your product different than like who's out there? I'm trying to think. Not Fly, like AOT or who's another company? I'm trying to. Well, of course, right now I'm drawing a blank. But some of the other uniform companies. Like, what is it for you aside from the fact you can custom and you do the custom itself in sizes, not just colors, what is it that puts you apart from everybody else?
Well, again, I never like to compare because all those companies, AOT, great company. Fly, obviously, the Fly obviously is Fly. Truly Design, all these major companies. They're great. They're great in what they do. And one thing regarding designing, I never like to look at these other companies because I don't want the influence on their. I want to try to keep my own. Focus on my own designs, right? But with I think that obviously with Troy Lee and Fly, you can get something in a week, because they make thousands of designs. I'm sorry, they have one couple of designs and 1,000 different pieces, right?
Right.
I have. So these companies, there's no way they can make 100 different designs and have all these different every size. It's just in the warehouse, right? So what I can bring to the table is you come, you're a JBC rider, you have over 100 different designs, plus, with matching gloves, you can make it custom where you can put your name and number in the back, and you have 2 different type of options regarding your, if you're a BMX racer, mountain bike racer. Now we just added. The guys that race my mind's going blank. Guys that race in the woods, right? And so they need protection that that the trees and the branches are going to damage their buckles on their boots. So we designed a pant just recently that's going to go over their boot.
Oh, or like the enduro racing where they run
enduro.
Yes.
Okay,
Sorry,
gotcha. All right.
It happens when you're in your 50s, right?
Oh, I'm closing in on it. It's already happening.
Jeez. And so, I'm a BMX racer, so I know what's important to me. And so, so initially we had a pan that's made of a Cordura material, doesn't stretch. It just has a stretch material in the crotch and knee in the back of the seat. But then you've seen all these other pants that were a lot more tight. I didn't want the spandex pair, but I came across.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
I came across this material about a year ago and tested it, and myself, crushing on asphalt turns and cement, and this material that's made from my stretch pant, it doesn't rip. It's freaking phenomenal. So I got two styles on my pants for BMX. I have 2 styles for my motocross riders, Cordura, and then the stretch. And then we just launched the enduro pant. So we have those three types of styles for our riders. And then in the very near future, we're looking at adding mountain bike pants. So obviously, all 4 of those disciplines will have the same jersey, right? But I know it's a long answer, but I think just the options regarding how many options my rider gets, we can make it custom length. Short or long, and I can really make any design, any kit design you see. I can make it. I can make a pair of shorts. I can make a Tazlon zipper jacket. I can make a polo, a 3-button polo to match your jersey. Any one on there. If it may not be on there, you see it, but I can do that.
All right.
Great.
Get the whole team going.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're going to take a minute here and throw it over to Melissa. And we've had some people in the chat. And while we're doing this, for those of you that are watching the live show, if you've got a question, right now is the time to get it in the chat as we toss it over to Melissa for our chat check-in. Melissa, how's the chat room been?
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to shout out, boy, it's been a minute since I've done this. New glasses and everything. So Sean Gifford with Dye Job Apparel, first one in the chat, says, "What's up, Damon?" Brian Fell with Mega Designs. He's also hanging out. Stuart Kelly, as Justin mentioned, our new Australian friends that will be joining, a couple weeks from now, I guess it is?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Rick Carter, the Beer Budget BMX, is also tuning in. Boy, this is all the love. Everybody just loves each other. It's great. Let's see. Oh, Mr. Ken Kellogg's over on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. He says, hey, guys, it's going to be a great show. Jason Kimball, sharing Go JBC. And let's see. Ken Stewart said, hashtag JBC Race Nation. I think Brian was saying that Arrow was a pioneer as far as a brand goes, Fly Technology. Holly Dunn's tuning in. She says, hello, all. Mo Collins, our favorite rider down in, well, I should say one of our favorite riders down in Ohio. I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. Says, good evening, all. And let's see, Brian was sharing that Billy Harrison's nickname was Goat Balls. I don't know if that's like a private story or if that's well known to everybody. Unclear. Also... tuning in, David Dortona is on Facebook. Hopefully you're feeling better, dude. So sorry about the issues. And then Chris Obashan also tuning in with us says, hi, Melissa, Damon, Justin, and SoCal Brad. Awesome. If anybody's got any questions or anything for Brad, put them in the chat and we'll get them asked.
Well, thanks, Melissa, for doing the chat check-in. So how do you... with all the different designs, so we have up, switch here. I've got the website up. You got a lot of different designs. How do you keep coming up, with new stuff?
Keeping it fresh.
Keeping it cool.
Well, that's what's great about having a team, right? You have designers that would shoot your ideas and pick if I personally come up with each one of these, no. That's what's great about, just like with my suit business. I mean, with my client, but the entire manufacturing team behind me that I consult with, work with, that's who they get, right? So, when you create a team, that they have maybe more creative or, so ideas always come to me, and that's what's great about it because once I have it, I can put on these current three disciplines, and put it on the site, and there's maybe something that I may not like, but I'm sure that someone else out there that does. So that's what I'm trying to get, because as you see, JVC colors, I love being, in the bespoke world, when you walk into a networking event and everyone's working, they call it peacocking, when you walk into a room and you dress on nines. Well, I love going to nationals, and you definitely can see the JVC rider. Yeah. Because to me, most kits are just black. They're just boring to me, as a designer, as a clothier. So, but I obviously didn't want to make each one of those kits, and so that's why we try to make it sort of somewhere like we're going modern to back in the colors of the the 80s. But yeah, when I originally designed this, and obviously running a team, managing a team is a lot of work, right? So when I initially did this as a side business, passionate about racing, passionate about clothing, it was a great mix. Initially I did not want to start a team or have a JBC national team, but and there was nobody stepping up like I did for the previous company, but so it was inevitable that we started a national team a year ago, July roughly, and we had like 9 riders at Grands last year. And now we're going to probably have 25 riders at the Grands this year. And then talking to guys at the Grands last year, there's a lot of riders that don't go to nationals, but they just love the state series. So we decided to launch the state teams. And so we have probably, I'd say, close to 60 riders in the national team. And we have 15 state teams as of January.
Wow. Jeez.
So shout out to, talk to Jason Kindle. He's just kicking butt. I think he has like 16 rides with the Michigan State team.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
Oh,
I
we
think,
see
you know,
them all the time. Yeah.
yeah, and I'll tell you, hats off because they do a great job of promoting your brand. You know, we typically end up pitting next to them just because they're a great group to hang around with, and
Yeah.
you know everybody on the group solid. And yeah, they always got the uniforms on, getting the tents prepped and ready, and just looks. They do a great job.
And that's what I hear. From many other riders, just like you, Justin, right? That I met so and so rider at here, and they're just the coolest people. And how do I become part of that? And
Yeah,
but and that's what's so amazing. That it's I still have to pinch myself. Like where you have, because people have these ideas, but putting it on paper and actually seeing another rider on the other side of the United States wearing it's just amazing.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm completely humbled, and it's like it's not definitely not me. With with the 15 state teams. I mean, we also have Kirkland Dean, California. I mean, to him represent JBC, it's just it's just amazing. The guy's always in front, right? I mean, obviously everyone, many people know him, and to having JBC on the big show with Marty Weishart, Vet Pro, that kid,
great
so
ambassador,
amazing.
man. And he's amazing at anything two wheels. That guy can ride.
Yeah. When you watch his videos, and the guy just makes it look so easy, right? So, just blessing to have those guys, And I remember talking to Kirk at my home track at Bellflower, and I was right next to him on the gate. And he goes, "It's SoCal Brad on the gate." I'm like, and this is Kirkland Dean saying this to me. I'm like, I'm just like, what? So just super blessed to be a great group of guys, and so looking forward to the Grands with we have from Washington to Arizona and to Indiana, like I said, 15 teams and growing. Just
Wow.
As well as want to. And bring in a national team, obviously, just like I did previously, I wanted to have a benefit to my riders. So we, to have them besides being part of the team. The biggest thing is, my whole thing is I wanted to bring the factory experience to these riders that may never get to that level. And because, I've been lucky enough that when I go to these Grands and being part of these amazing groups, it's just night and day. I mean, if I was there by myself sitting in the stands to being with part of a team, the last 5 years, to me, it's just the experiences would have been so much different if I didn't have that. And so that's what I want to bring. And I think that's carrying along as throughout the state teams. I think it's the same thing.
So cool shout out for you in the chat is Stuart Kelly from It's Just BMX podcast show. He says, coming from Australia, I've never heard of JBC, but awesome, cool kits. I don't think it's going to take too long before you start seeing them there, Stuart.
You never know, man. That's right. I'm still pinching myself. It's pretty amazing. Like I said, just to see one rider, that's interested in wearing your kit. I still have the picture of the first rider that bought the kit and wore it and put it on Facebook 5 years ago.
Wow.
4 years ago.
Nice.
I still have that
That's
picture,
very
and
cool.
I still have pictures of me, designing. Okay, I got to think of a name. The sketching that I still have that on my phone just to remind me, of where I was and where it is now, and so yeah, it's pretty cool.
If somebody was interested in a JBC team, a starting one, would it be contacting you? Do they email you, text you? How do they go about if they want to start a state team and get involved with you?
Yeah, they can reach me directly, on Facebook. They can go to our website, and there's a text there that will reach me.
Mm-hmm.
Our email is support at the website, johnbradleycustom.com. And I can talk about, what the benefits are and and get them involved. Not only that is, we've created that, the John Bradley Custom business page or, team page on Facebook. And I try, as much as I can to get those riders, from motocross and enduro to BMX, and highlight those riders that are, doing amazing things in their own areas to build up that community. It's, with Instagram and Facebook. So again, to build that online community. And so when we go to Grands, and it's like we already know a little bit about each other. So it's kind of like almost like a reunion. So there's a lot of riders that I've never met. So it's looking forward to it.
All right, question for you: are you going to have any sales going on at the Grands?
Well, that's because we're not in a vendor, we're not able to. We're not going to be able to do that. So we'll just have a team pit.
We won't tell nobody.
Yeah. But you're definitely see it. And when I mentioned before regarding bringing the additional benefits to my riders, shelter, Haro. Again, it's been just amazing, dream come true that I'm wearing the Haro name on my jersey. That's just like, wow, I race a Haro, and box components, Cali protectives, Amy grips, TFP designs. They make our inserts, and Powers BMX. So, these are all these benefits that our riders get through these companies as well. So just super stoked to have these guys a part of JBC as well.
I think I love the idea of the matching gloves right off the bat.
Yes.
Like, it's so, I watched Justin struggle too, especially if he, he's all these different greens, or, if he's looking for some kind of solid pink, or, whatever it is, it never turns out to be exactly the right match or exactly what he's looking for. So just to kind of have that all set and ready that's a great seller.
Can a team contact you that's not a JBC team and you make their stuff for them?
Justin, that's a great question. It's very interesting. I appreciate you asking me, because I almost forgot about that.
Oh,
so it's interesting how you think you're going to do one thing. So I started, the brand just for JBC, just to sell product, and then I started the national team, and look where it's gone. Right, 60 riders,
exactly.
Now state teams, 15 state teams, where I start, teams start seeing our product, and again, I figured it out, right? I said, and so we can custom make the entire kit for a team. So because most teams, they have an amazing jerseys, but then they're sponsored by a major company, like let's say Fly or Twirly, but a lot of times the riders are wearing multiple different brands, right?
Yeah.
Where JBC, I can make your entire kit, and in a sense, JBC becomes the co-sponsor, or one of the co-sponsors of your team.
Mm-hmm.
So I can make your entire kit, jersey, pant, and gloves, and so your entire team looks, factory, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and then you can, as you said earlier, you can also convert it over to the non-track wear, right? Because you have the zip-up hoodies, and some of the other stuff too, which is that can be a thing that's hard to find, right? Where you can do this, and you can do the non-race wear stuff, kind of the fan wear, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great stop. Same way to get a hold of you, just support at johnbradleycustom.com. So that for those of you listening on the podcast after the show, we'll have that email in the show notes, so you don't have to go digging for it or trying to find it. It'll just be right there. For those of you listening live, we put it in the chat already, and it'll also be in the YouTube notes too.
So there's a comment on Facebook that my son is a new JBC Michigan team ad. This is from Robbie White. And sounds like the son got to wear his kit for the first time this weekend and was so excited, thrilled to be a part of the team and support it. So little
That's
shout
awesome.
out. Yeah. Very cool.
And I love when they send their videos and pictures of it. It's just again, it's so amazing, right? And that they're excited to wear this kit, and and I love, like I said, posting this up on our team page, so they can begin. Other riders can reach out to insure them on, and because unfortunately, riders get injured, and unfortunately,
Sure.
on the motocross side, unfortunately, I've seen, in this year alone, 2 or 3 young kids get killed.
Ooh.
They get sent out, they hit it, and they're not coming back to the pit. That's just, can't imagine that. But so and how I, essentially a lot, some BMX riders, they motocross, and so I have obviously, BMX pants, motocross, and enduro pants.
That's nice that you have variety like that.
Yes, it is. Okay. Well,
Can somebody just order? Say somebody's like, I got a jersey, dude. Can they just get you to make their pants for their team?
Yes. And so so basically,
Good question.
you have exactly. So you have, you see the kit, but then if you go to BMX, everything you see on the site, I can basically make for your team.
Cool.
So you see pants, you see gloves, you see shorts, you see polo shirts, 3-button polo shirts, pit shirts, Tazlon zipper jackets. I can do all that. And again, just regarding what you need to do, just again reach out to us at support at John Bradley Custom, and kind of give you kind of the lowdown, what you need, and we take it from there.
So, Brad, are you the tailor?
I am not.
Okay.
Hats off to the tailors. That's a dying breed, right?
Yes.
Behind this, I'm the designer. As a custom clothier, I'm meeting you, measuring you, consulting you, consulting your wardrobe. And I wouldn't have the time if I was actually making it.
Yeah.
So
no, that makes sense. Gotta hire something out.
You
Very cool.
The site says you also do the gear bags too.
Oh wow.
oh damn.
yeah, we just started that.
Nice.
So right now we have 2 designs. One for our national team, it matches the national kit, and one for the state team. And then the rider can put their name and number on there, and so I was saying regarding the custom kits. Most teams, everyone's, like I said, the matching jersey, but they have multiple pants, and so that's the other thing that separates us is I can make that matching for, and we've made kits for punk racing. We make a Team Awesome BMX, which is out of New York team Awesome.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm aware of them.
Yeah, JBR BMX, Charlie's BMX. So yeah,
Pit shirt's a cool idea. That's a
That's a must.
underserved, underserved area right there. That's a slick idea right there. Got something to wear, not your jersey, looking formal. I like that. Yeah.
And mom and dad want to wear something that matches their kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. Those are nice.
Yeah, we gotta do some trivia.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump in, Mr. JBC, Brad has something he wanted to announce for the trivia that we're doing tonight and some of the stuff we're giving away. But go ahead, Brad.
So we would like to a lucky winner give a free full kit, so jersey and pant. So lucky winner gets if any JBC design you see.
Damn, I kind of
Wow, that's so
Damn.
generous.
I kind of want to play.
Right. So do I.
I kind of feel like I needed a more difficult question.
Okay. Well, it's time for my favorite part of the show.
Ah.
The world famous Melissa trivia.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Crump and Carter Clothing Company.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been
Did
a
you-
second since I've done this. Yeah.
Did you see the Krupp Carter bad sticker
Yes.
of Michael Jackson doing the turn down?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Big shout out to Krupp and Carter coming out of Florida for hooking us up here. And Melissa got our question and going to show you the prize pack that we have from All Things BMX that you'll also get on top of.
Yeah, so on top of the full kit, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so, there's a little prize pack. There's a little sticker pack that's in there. There's some various items from Motor City Harley Davidson, glasses, koozies.
Did you see this on the
This is
koozie?
a Premier pen.
If you hold that up.
Yeah.
I'm doing my Chris here.
Because you can see it on
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry.
it's on this one, right?
Yeah.
Branding.
Just now noticed.
They are on top of it, man.
Yeah. Right. And then I got a size extra large Krupp and Carter.
No, you don't. You don't have that.
This
Is that what you want?
it's like not quite a t-shirt, not quite a sweatshirt. It's kind of somewhere in between. I think it's considered a t-shirt, but it's kind of a heavier material. But
I think if I exhale enough, I might be able to get into it.
If you think XL enough.
you breathe out,
I like
and
it.
pull on,
Yeah.
and then your
Think skinny.
Right.
Motor City Harley Davidson pack here for everything. Got that dog. So, all right. Well, when we first started talking with Brad, he was kind of telling us about his early days from Nebraska to California. Brad, don't answer. And he shared with us what his first job was, the company that he worked for when he moved to California. I will accept. Well, my preference is for the original name, but if anybody happens to know what what it's probably called today, I'll take that too. But so where was Brad's first job when he moved to California? Who was he working for?
That's a good one. All right.
What did he say? Forgot about the chip clip. I said it. I didn't call it
Oh.
a chip clip, but
Well, look, man. Melissa's never going to be able to do the sell that Chris Beer can do for a chip clip.
Dude,
We just know that. We know this.
he said, dude, Beers is going to freak out. Don't forget about the chip clip. Okay, there's your chip clip right there. It does have a magnet on it in case anybody is very involved in their chip clip connoisseuring. But
All right. You got a chip clip, Rick. Don't worry. And we're waiting for a winner here. You want to tell them who our next week's guest is?
I sure will. Next week's guest is, let me see if I can get this right. My best Chris Beer's imitation here.
Chris Beer birthday names?
Exactly. Jake
Benepich.
I ain't no way I would have got that, man.
Nah.
From Sparks BMX Training.
Well, Jake.
Jake S. from Sparks BMX Training.
That's funny.
Yeah, and he'll be on next week. And in the interim between now and next week, for those of you listening, go to his Instagram page and follow his gate start breakdown. Like, he is putting stuff out there right now that others charge for.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. He does a great job. I think
I'm going to have to check it out.
it's I think six or seven parts he broke down gate starts.
Well, I definitely need a better gate.
And after looking at some of the videos from last week, I need that. For sure. While we're waiting for a winner, Brad, what are the plans? What's your plans for JBC for the future?
I mean, a dream, right?
Yeah.
This company could become a family business, right? To support, let's say all my five kids, families, right? In the future, it goes from my house, right, into an actual business, outside into a building, or like warehouse, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be a pretty amazing dream, right? You hear about all these stories about like Haro, right? He started with nameplates. Look where it is now, right?
Yeah.
Right.
World.
Okay. All right. Well, I have one quick question. I want to circle back for a second. If you can have one dream writing session with 3 writers, past or present, what other 3 writers would be in the gate with you?
Oh, wow.
Or it can even be freestyle, because you did write freestyle for a little while too. So take your pick.
Yeah, I mean, um, definitely, Mike King, Eddie Fiola, and Billy Harrison.
Okay.
That's solid.
Solid, yes. Like that a lot. Justin, who would your three would be?
Oh, dude,
Yep, you're gonna ask the guest.
Yeah.
wow, that's Matt Hoffman.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah, I've been in a building and rode in the same building as he was riding, but like, nah. I mean, I
You
don't-
lined up with him, D?
no, yeah, I don't even think he knew I was in there.
Yeah, at a contest, I rolled right after him.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, that's a horrible spot.
yeah.
After Matt Hoffman, dude, even when the kid was like 9, he was hitting 12-foot airs.
He was 15 at the time, and I was 16, and had to follow him at a King of Vert contest. Which,
That's
yeah, was not a good look. He embarrassed the hell out of me.
Wow.
All right, so you got two. You got two more.
Kyle Bennett.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle Bennett, and probably, Brian Foster.
Nice.
Yeah, Brian Foster, Kyle Bennett, and Matt Hoffman.
Okay.
That would be the dream session, man. What's your three?
Mike Dominguez, Vert Rider,
Yeah.
Yep.
Stumpin' Stu Thompson.
I mean, you've cruised with him.
I
Does
cruised with
that
him, but
count?
on a boat with him,
Yeah,
dude.
but I never. I would like to
partied
see
with him,
I would like
but
to see
I've
him on the
not rode
track,
with
though.
him.
Yeah,
Okay,
I would like to
okay.
see him
All
on the
right,
track.
all right. That's fair.
And my last one, actually, I've ridden with this guy. I've been in one of his training sessions. Jeff Upshaw.
Upshaw?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He's solid.
yeah. So
I
Don't-
can
don't
say
ask
I
me.
can say I rode with him.
yeah,
Yeah, I did. Cape
See?
Coral showed up, and it was him, another guy, and myself.
There you go.
Oh,
See?
that was wild. He just cleared the pro set
With
Co-
ease.
I don't even say he was coasting. I'm like, no way he's got speed, and just right through it. Like, it's like Marty that you brought up, right? When you see Marty ride like big jumps, you're like, no. And then the next thing, he's in the next stratosphere, and he can.
Right.
Dude, he comes in those landing ramps like they just look like launch ramps, and like Marty's so smooth. That kid's solid. That's a great guy to have as an ambassador for your brand, because he's the everyman BMXer, dude. He's such a nice guy.
Before I forget, I want to give a shout out to a friend of mine if I can.
Yeah.
Please.
I don't know if you guys heard of Rob Drolet from Dallas, Texas. He's he's a national nag number 2 51-55 expert, and it's amazing. Is when I was a novice, I went down to super nationals and I raced that guy as a novice, and now no previous racing experience, and so in 5 years later, he's nag number 2 51-55 expert. Watch him at the Grands.
Nice.
Okay.
All right.
When are you moving up to expert?
Well, that's the big question, right?
How many more wins do you need?
That's the big question, right?
Yes.
That we want
Everybody
to evade.
That's to be honest with you guys, I mean, that's an ongoing discussion,
Sure.
right? I mean,
Oh, yeah, sure.
I consider myself a true amateur, right? I mean, yes, I'm going to be expert, obviously, but I mean, I don't think I deserve. I just don't. I mean, I just don't think I deserve to be racing these guys that they were pros one time. They were pros. The reason they were pros, 20, 30 years ago is because they were very gifted, and I never even got to expert. And so, and unfortunately, I've seen in 5 years, and plus I'm in Southern California, so there's not too many. I mean, in the intermediate class, especially even this year, is extremely, very, very fast guys. But I mean, I'm close, right? But getting to the expert level, it's just a completely different class.
Yeah.
And I've just seen, every sport has its draw, certain things, but, I've just seen too many guys, they just stop. You know, I mean, if I look at, every main event at the Grands, let's say, majority of the guys that have gone expert, they're not racing anymore. And it's hard to see that. And also I had this thought when you asked me, how I get my inspiration from my kids. A lot of it are for riders, because that's the other thing is what separates me is you're talking to the owner. Hey, Brad, what about this idea? One of my most recent kits we put up is the faux shizzle kit. It's the poop emojis all over it, right? And so I shout out to Bart Washington, Big Walsh from Georgia. I call him the General. Just a great ambassador of our brand. So he's also in my class. So it'd be fun to race to him at the Grands. But he goes, dude, he says, you got to put this kit together. And I'm like, are you sure? You want me to do that? So I said, so we designed it, and now it's live. It's called the Faux Shizzle.
All right, I got one more question for you. What's your go-to hype song before a race?
Ooh. What's my go-to what?
Hype song. What song gets you hyped up, get you all amped up, get you stoked, ready to go? What's that song?
Oh my gosh.
I know you got one in there somewhere now. Think about it. Justin, what's yours?
Dude. It kind of depends. If it's hip hop, dude, it's Wu-Tang Gravel Pit.
Right, that's a great one.
If it's like I'm feeling like I need a rock song, heavy metal song, it's like Pantera. It's yeah.
Amy, did you hear that? Did you hear? Could you hear that song?
No, we couldn't. Sorry.
No, still can't hear it.
Yeah, it's not coming. Oh my god. Is it Send Me an Angel? I mean,
no, it's Thunder in Your Heart.
Thunder in Your Heart. Yeah, that's the
yeah.
These guys are taking off, right? So,
that's a great song too.
I love it.
Melissa, what's your hype song before you go ride?
It's usually a calm down song. Like here we go again. I don't know.
Well, did we get
I
did
did technically get a winner.
Really?
Yeah.
Hang on, let me.
Holly won. Holly had it right.
Damn, Holly had it in seconds.
Yeah.
Of course.
She did. She was right there.
Yep. So the answer was Structure, or otherwise known as Express Men's, right? Or men. I think it's Express Men's. Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Sean Giffey for also saying Structure. But yeah, Holly was the first one in. Got to give it to her.
Damn.
Holly, you can get some.
Bittersweet.
There you go. Get yourself your JBC custom kit to go with your Taco Tuesday ride.
Robert Ronde may not be very happy with that, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe she knows somebody to.
Yeah. Well, Brad, before we close up shop, we always kind of hand the screen over to our guests for thanks and shout outs and kind of final words. So we're going to do that right now, give you the screen, and then we want to thank everybody for joining us. All right, go ahead, Brad.
Jackson, Damon, Melissa, you guys, thanks for the opportunity. Just want to shout out to all the JPC Race Nation, you guys. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be on talking in the show. So hope I did all you guys justice and just the sky's the limit, you guys. So just glad you're all part of the journey.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. And we appreciate you making time for joining us.
Yeah, it was great to hear about JBC. Now there's a face behind the name even more so now. And I want to thank everyone that tuned in tonight live, everyone listening, watching right now. I know Kenny's at work listening, so appreciate it. Our friends all the way over in Australia listening on their lunch break. Thank you, you guys, and everyone listening to the podcast afterwards. We appreciate it.
Damon, thank you for filling in, man.
Not a problem.
Well,
I'm glad to be back in the house.
Yeah. Thanks for Melissa. Happy to have you back. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and be back for the December show, right?
Yes, I'm coming back.
That one's going to be fun. Yeah, for sure. We got some stacked guests coming up. Joe Doherty's coming on in a couple weeks. Jake's on next week. So, if you guys got somebody you want to see on the show, let us know. If you want to be on the show, just message me or message the page, and we'll get it all set up. So,
Sounds good.
Yeah, you guys, thanks again for tuning in. We're going to shut it down. Brad, hang out just for a second, all right?
Have a good night.